Hey guys, what I want to do today is talk to you about Heat 2, which is coming up on the 22nd to the 25th of October. So Heat 2 Combat Patrol, basically it's the next class beyond Heat 1 in terms of live fire. So Heat 1 is a 4-day class in which we teach you everything from weapon handling, and then although we call it combat tactics, the reality of it is we're teaching you a bunch of techniques that you can apply. You apply them up to team level, 4-man team, and then what you would do is you then come back on Heat 2, and then we'll take you up to a larger group, like for example 4 or 12 men, which is 2 or 3 teams. And what you'll do is you'll put those techniques together and do more squad level stuff. Okay, so Heat 2 consists of an initial reconnaissance patrol. It consists of a hasty attack, a raid, ambush, multiple ambushes, that kind of deal. So what we're effectively working on is squad level patrolling skills and squad level combat actions. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm actually in the woods at the VTC, and I am building a new raid range. Okay, so we trialed this to a limited extent as part of the last year's Heat 3 Combat Patrol, which was a night, or sorry, not Combat Patrol, but night operations class, which was a night attack onto one of these locations. It was just a simple thing with a single team, and it was a night attack. But what we're going to do is I'm building it out now, and this is going to give you a good idea about the kind of thing that we deal with. But I'm building it out so that we can do a daytime Heat 2 assault onto this raid range. And it does avoid going up the Hill of Woe. There's maybe a little hill to go up, but it's only a small one, okay? And it's a much better location, okay? So what's going on here? I'm gonna flip the camera around. All right, so I'm in the middle of Objective Alpha, okay, which is this kind of area here, okay, which is the first objective. All right, and I'm just building up these, like, they're not supposed to be bunkers. It's supposed to be an enemy patrol base. And then down there you might be able to see where I parked the Intimidator is. Hopefully you can see it down there. But that's Objective Bravo, which is the depth objective. So how does this work? Well, what we do is we utilize a thing called the assault cycle, and it depends how many people. There's some trees that I've cut down to give better view of the objective. So basically, we're going to use the assault cycle. It depends on whether we've got 2 or 3 teams. So either 8 men or 12 men, roughly. So in a scenario, I'm looking at the hill crest over there, and the assault team is going to move up in cover and be behind that hill crest. And that's where they're going to assault from. They're going to assault from there. It's maybe 100 yards down towards this area of the patrol base, and then they'll fight through this area of the patrol base. Now at 90 degrees over there's actually a trail, and you probably can't see it, but there's like a pile of logs and stuff on the edge of the trail. That's 90 degrees, and that is where the support by fire position is going to be. So what will happen is the support by fire are going to open fire on this location, and then 90 degrees, the assault team's going to come over the hill, and they're going to begin their assault. Now, for being safety minded, because that's the thing that we're really serious about, support by fire at 90 degrees over there cannot fire at where I'm standing, given that the assault team is now assaulting. So what they would have to do is they would, what we call, shift their fire, and that fire, from where I'm looking now, it would be to the left. From them over there in the support by fire position, they will shift their fire to the right, and that's why I'm building a depth position down there, so that they will be shooting at the depth position, which keeps the assault team safe on their assault onto this position. And then what would happen is, roughly, depending whether we've got 2 or 3 teams, okay, so the assault team is going to come into this location and not go too far, not go further than this bunker over here, this depth bunker, and they're going to stop, they're going to consolidate, and what they'll do is they will then shift from being the assault team to the support by fire team, and they will then be firing down at that depth position. Now, if we've got 2 teams, then what will happen is the fire support team up there is going to peel down that trail to a 90-degree angle and then assault basically across and assault through that ditch and assault up and take the depth position. At which point, obviously well before that, the support by fire guys, the assault and then the support by fire guys that are where I'm standing now will have ceased fire. And I've also got to figure maybe I could put some shift fire targets up there. I haven't figured that bit out yet. So what I do with shift fire targets is, because you've got guys coming down the hill assaulting that depth position, well, we've got to shift away from them to keep it safe. So either we just stop firing or we take an angle 590 degrees and we 590 mils, okay, and then we put some shift fire targets out there which they can continue to fire at, and then when our depth guys are in that ditch about to assault through the enemy position, then these guys can't be firing at the shift fire targets anymore, because the shift fire targets represent the objective. I don't know whether that makes any sense. Does that make any sense, guys? Does it make any sense? But that's how we do this. Everything is planned. Everything is got safety in mind. But what we're doing is we will have dynamic, we've got basically dynamic situations going on here, which are controlled by safety. So, we've got a support by fire team, and then we've got an assault team, and support by fire is static, under control of a safety. The assault team is moving, and then we shift on the assault cycle, and then the assault team becomes a support by fire team. And then if there's only 2 teams, then the support by fire team becomes the assault team. Or if there's 3 teams, the support by fire team will just stop what they're doing and remain in place, and the 3rd team will push through and become the assault team. They will reserve, and then they'll become assault. That's heat 2, guys. Well, that's not heat 2. I mean, heat 2, we've got all kinds of stuff. We'll do a whole ambush day. We'll do hasty attack. We'll do raid. We'll do reconnaissance patrol. We'll do some classroom work. We'll talk about, combat patrol in general. Okay. So take a look at it, guys. If you've done heat 1, you qualify for heat 2. There's some new stuff on heat 2. I'm just showing you that. Okay. We've got a really good assault raid range coming up here. It's not properly built, but it will be built. Okay. And I will catch you later. Thanks very much.